lifting up Jesus, opening his word from Australia, Denmark, Israel, Japan, New Zealand, Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, Singapore, South Africa, United Kingdom, Thailand, the Philippines, United States, and throughout the world. You're watching Moriel TV. Hi, this is Tim from Moriel TV and Moriel Radio, here live from Israel with James Jacob Prasch. Now, Jacob, both you and I are former Roman Catholics, and there are a lot of people that ask the question about the stigmata and what that is.
It has been alleged that Francis of Assisi had this stigmata. I don't know if anybody can prove that. I don't think you can prove it. It may just be a legend. But it's probably true that so-called Padre Pio of the late 20th century in Italy did. And all kinds of claims by Roman Catholics about supernatural powers associated with him have been made. Let's understand something about the stigmata. Whenever there's a phenomenon that is physiological or miraculous or otherwise, one, it will always agree with Scripture. Two, it will always point people to Jesus on the basis of Scripture. Those things are not true of the Roman Catholic stigmata. As you rightly point out, in a Roman crucifixion, we know from paleoarchaeology and we know from autopsies, post-mortems done on cadavers who were crucified Roman style. One of the times that was done is in the investigation of the Turin Shroud. That in a Roman crucifixion or any crucifixion, if there was going to be a piercing, it wouldn't be in the metacarpal. It would have to be through the radius in order to sustain the body's weight, but also the continual tugging. Because in a Roman crucifixion, the diaphragm could not expand unless the victim could pull himself up. That would not have been possible with the metacarpal. So the whole thing has no physiological or anatomical basis. It's just a nonsense. That's not how Jesus was crucified. They don't bear the marks of Christ. Paul does speak about bearing the marks of Christ, but he was most likely making reference in the Scripture to the markings left by the Roman scourging, which placed bits of bone or metallic matter on the thongs of the Roman whip that was designed to rip the flesh from the muscle tissue. So you could even have an exposure of bone tissue in a Roman flogging that would leave a person permanently scarred, disfigured as a result of the Roman scourging. That's what Paul was almost certainly speaking of when he said the marks of Christ. It was not a stigmata. The stigmata is just Roman Catholic hocus pocus. It's mysticism and it's nonsense. It's not true. Now, if it is happening, the likelihood is there is some physiological explanation or possibly that it is demonic. But it does not point people to the biblical Jesus in any sense, and it's not the marks of Christ. That is absolutely proven to not to be how he was crucified. He couldn't possibly have been through the metacarpal, through the palms of the hands. Thank you so much for the question. My name is Jacob Prasch. God bless. Blessings, dear friends. Greetings in Jesus. This is your friend Jacob Prasch speaking to you at the moment from the UK. You know, so many of the questions we get in our Roku broadcast and our Vimeo clips and on YouTube
deal with subjects that we deal with much more extensively in our books. We can't, for the sake of brevity, go into the kind of depth in a TV broadcast we can actually go into in a book. But so many of the questions come from material that are expounded in the books on a much more broader scale that it's almost frustrating sometimes that we can't spend hours and hours answering the questions that are given to us. Obviously, practicality dictates that's not a possibility. The books are there. They're available. They're available in print through the Moriel catalog on the Moriel website, moriel.org. But in this day of Kindle and electronic books, they're also available through Amazon, and they're available through Kindle. The three books that would be the most referred to in the questions we receive are the three latest books. The first being The Dilemma of Laodicea. The Dilemma of Laodicea. It's an exposition of the seven churches in Revelation, culminating with the final two churches, Philadelphia and Laodicea particularly, setting the stage for the return of Jesus. The Dilemma of Laodicea would be the first. The second would be Shadows of the Beast. Shadows of the Beast. How the coming Antichrist, how his identity will be revealed to the faithful church. The rapture will not happen. Will not happen, absolutely not happen, until the faithful church knows who the ultimate beast of Revelation is. That is the Antichrist and also the false prophet. How the identity of the coming Antichrist will be revealed to the faithful church. Shadows of the Beast, the second book. And the final and latest one, Harpazo. Harpazo. What the scripture actually teaches about the rapture, the snatching away which takes place between the sixth and seventh seals in the book of Revelation. So these three books, The Dilemma of Laodicea, Shadows of the Beast, and Harpazo, all available on the Moriel catalog, all available through Amazon, and all easily available electronically by Kindle. Thank you so much, dear friends. God bless. May Jesus be with you.